Hey everybody, this is Green Hubs here, and today I have Sam from the Northwest Winds, and I'm going to be talking to him about how he got into stealth camping, and we'll just see where this goes.
Hi everybody, Sam here, Northwest Wind on YouTube and Instagram. I appreciate you having me, Silas. Thanks for reaching out. Super excited. I've been, I guess, in conjunction with your invitation, I've been on a couple other live streams. A bunch of people want a piece of me now, not thousands of people, but I've had 5, 10 different things that have happened the past couple weeks and have been on the schedule, a couple interviews and other things like that. So nice to be wanted, I suppose. But thanks for having me again. So how did I get into stealth camping? So I guess a little bit of background. My current channel, Northwest Wind, I started that channel in 2016, I believe. And from the beginning until this past August, it was branded as Puff Puff Bass Fishing. So all of those videos are still live on the channel. It's me and my buddies fishing, camping, doing all kinds of outdoor stuff, mainly fishing and camping. So I've always been an outdoorsman since I was 12, 13 years old. So always camping, always fishing, always doing something. On top of I've been making movies. I have several old school YouTube channels going back to when YouTube first started. I think it was like 06. And then even prior to that, we were making, camcorder home videos and stuff. So being that I was already camping and being that I've been making videos, I'm 32. So for 20 plus years, I've always been a big fan of Random Adventures. There's actually a YouTuber, Random Adventures 2.0. He's a stealth camper too, so intended, I guess. But
I know him personally.
Yeah, I think him and I are going to collab here soon too. We're in the beginning stages of planning something, so we'll see how that plays out. But
nice.
Steve Wallace, Small Plots, several other channels, mainly Steve though. So I decided to take what I know camping wise and try stealth camping. I basically just said I wanted to, try something new on the channel. I kind of went away from the Puff Puff Bass brand. I don't really align with like the values of it anymore, and I don't really party anymore, all of that. So I was going to rebrand the channel anyway to Northwest Wind, but I wasn't sure what the content was going to be. I'm still going to be doing fishing and outdoor camping, all that kind of stuff. I have a ton of videos ready to upload. I've just been focusing on the stealth stuff lately, but just decided to give it a try. I'd been planning on it all year. And when I rebranded, I'm like, let's make the first video of the new brand be the stealth camps. So the Home Depot shed was the first video. I believe I put that up. It was like August 31st or September 1st. And then as of the video I uploaded on Sunday, that was already the 15th stealth camp. I haven't missed a week yet. I uploaded a behind the scenes today of the setup of the Christmas U-Haul stealth as well. So you're talking 16, 17 stealth videos, a few other random ones. I believe I have a couple general camping ones in there as well. So I know that was like the longest, most elaborate answer to your question, but it kind of just happened organically. Just like I said, rebrand, trying to start something new along with the ideas that I had. So I kind of just had a plan in my mind, put it to paper and started rolling with it. And it's doing pretty well. The channel's grown quite a bit. And people are seeming to catch on more and more each week, each video. So I don't have any plans to stop in the short term. I said originally I wanted to stealth camp. I'll do it for a month every week. So I'll do 4 or 5 videos, see where we're at. They did well. Well, not like well, but nothing viral, but they did pretty well, more than I expected they would. And so I said, I'll do it to the end of the year, see what happens. And here we are pretty much, at the end of the year. So now I'm looking at doing it through next August at least. I said I'll give it a full year and see where we're at.
I'm glad it's worked out so well.
Sorry for the rant, but background information, all that. So yeah.
Oh no, that's exactly what I wanted. That kind of leads us to what is your most popular video?
So my most popular stealth camping video is the Home Depot shed. It's got, I can check, but I think when I checked this morning, because I'm all over YouTube analytics and replying to comments and background stuff. And I think it's got like almost 33,000 views. That was the first one. So I uploaded it in, I think, just call it September 1st, I want to say. So it's doing fairly well. Like I said, it kind of started taking off, and it's been staying at that pace, 400 to 600 views a day since. I did the second stealth was the mall. I think it's got around 13 or 14,000. Some of them have 5 to 8,000. And then generally, I can see weekly with each new video, the numbers are picking up, like what I'll get within the first 48 hours. It's between 2 and 3,000 within the first 48 hours now. So it's, you can definitely measure the growth. I'm a big proponent of the analytics and doing things that help your algorithm, which is posting, having a good posting consistently, having a good thumbnail, making sure your tags and metadata, all that descriptions are proper, replying to comments, sharing the video where you possibly can. So a lot of people think if you just upload a video, like I'll make a video every 2 days and I'll get popular. But if you're not doing the stuff based around it, you're not going to go anywhere per se, in my opinion. Obviously there's viral stuff and things like that, but to actually build a channel and build a brand, you got to shoot the video, plan the video, shoot the video, and then do all the back end stuff that 99% of people either don't know to do or just, I feel like a lot of them probably just choose not to do it and then wonder why they're not even seeing. Not that I'm saying I'm super successful, but small scale, I think we've done pretty well for the first 3-4 months. And you can see the trends going upward on all of that because of the extra. It's like the extra 10% is what will give you the 100% return on your extra 10% of time and effort investment. I always think my next video is going to be the best one. For whatever reason, that one's just popping off more than the others. But like I said, there's consistent growth weekly on the numbers. Super excited on that. For sure.
Do you have a good goal for your channel? What is the goal?
It's a great question, and it's come up a lot lately because I try to do a live stream every week. If I can go live from the stealth camping location, I try to, because I'm doing it, so it helps pass the time while I'm there. But it also is another way, like I said, that extra 10% to engage with your fans and talk to people and answer questions. So if I can go live from the camps, I try to. If I get busted and end up at home, I'll go live at home, or I'll go live the next day once the video's up. It just depends. But so that question's popped up a lot, and the measurability or the long-term, short-term, things change fairly quickly depending on what's actually happening in real time. So like I said, when I first started, I was like, I'm going to do this for a month. I'll do 4 videos, 1 a week, 5, whatever it is, and see where we're at. And then, come October, I'm like, I'm going to do this to the end of the year. I already said all that. But again, the point being that I didn't know at the time really how to define success or what would make them successful. Obviously, going viral and getting 100,000 subs quickly and 1 million views would be awesome, but it's not really tangible unless you're like a Mr. Beast kind of guy or have backing from finances to other creators, people that can help push you. So initially, I just wanted to, with no expectation, jump in and see how the content was received. It was received well, kept pushing up to current, like I was saying. Now my answer would be, instead of I don't know how to define success, is that I'm seeing success. And again, that's by no means viral or, I went from about 4,000 subs to getting close to 7,000 in about the 3-month span. So each month, September, October, November, and now we're well into December, each month has been my best month on YouTube in the 8-9 years since I started the channel, and that trend is continuing through December. As far as measuring the success or the goals, I'm seeing it again in real time. I'm big on the analytics. So as you grow on top of your growth. So if you're getting 2,000 views for a month on a video, then next month 2,500 when you upload, and so on from there, and you're getting 20 subs a day and then 30 subs a day, it's like the growth will continue to stack upon itself and carry its own weight. If you're getting 50 views a day on 10 videos, then 50 views a day on 20 videos, and 50 views a day on 100 videos, you do the math on those, and I was getting 500 views a day. Now, 6 months later, I have 10 times as many videos. I'm getting 10 times as many views. And that's without, I'm taking all this into account without considering anything going viral. Because if one video goes viral, that'll blow the trajectory through the roof and then drive that growth again, cyclical on top of all the other videos that are there. So I, short term, hit 10,000 subs. Long term, I have some big plans for 2024. I'd like to get to, it might be lofty, but if I could somehow be at 50K by the end of 2024, I'd be super stoked. But short term, I'd like to hit, 20 to 25,000, continue the trend of a video a week, which is sometimes a challenge, but And just, I like I said, it was a month then through the end of the year. So now see where the first full year will take me. But yeah, if I could hit 25,000 subs and continue doing a video a week through a year, I think I would impress myself and hopefully see the results with all of that.
Yeah, you're definitely on the right track of getting there. That's for sure.
I appreciate it.
So what were your thoughts when you ran into Asian Tony?
Oh, Asian Tony. So you should go watch, if you haven't yet, go watch the Christmas special, because maybe or maybe not, Asian Tony might have made a reappearance in some shape or form. So the plan was, it's a restaurant close to my house, and they have a ladder on the back of the building for HVAC and service, whatever. So I'm always scouting for locations without thinking about it. Like I'll be driving by something and see, hey, that would be a good spot. So I saw this place when I was leaving the gas station. There's a ladder. I'm like, I want to camp up there. It's really close to my house too. And they open up at 6 a.m. So being able to get out of there at 5 a.m., it's kind of just, it felt like a natural kind of great place to do it. I still haven't done the revival or the redemption video yet, but it's in the cards. So showed up, was wearing my construction worker outfit, trying to blend in, like what is some guy climbing on a roof for? If you have a hard hat and a vest, and I have a big white pickup truck, which kind of looks like a service vehicle. So, tried to blend in. So I went up there and was filming, doing my shtick, setting up the camera, angles and talking and all that, and came around the corner of a big HVAC unit. And sure enough, like you said, Asian Tony, I don't know his name and don't know his story, but was sitting up there or on top of his tarp with a sleeping bag. We both, it's pretty evident in the video, we were both startled, so to speak. I wasn't like, it might come off in the video like I was afraid. I don't know if I was more afraid than more so taken aback. And then once we started talking and he, freely divulged that he was waiting to go back to jail. And there's some other stuff he said off camera that I didn't put in there out of respect for him, but that he's kind of been going through some stuff, and nothing super specific, but he's been going through some stuff and is waiting to figure out something or other. And then he's probably end up going back to jail for a bit. So I didn't feel threatened per se. I didn't think he was going to hurt me. But you can never trust people. Even if he seemed like a half decent guy, he didn't yell at me or curse me out or intimidate me. But I was definitely startled, definitely taken aback, kind of like dumbfounded. Like there's a lot of me just kind of looking side eye, like what the hell is going on? It was very, very out of pocket, very unexpected, but also at the same time, I don't know, brother, it was just very random, very just super unexpected. Even thinking about it now, I'm like feeling that same feeling I felt up there, like what the going on? So I wished him well. I tried to get him to talk a little bit more just because I thought it'd be more interesting content. So I wished him well, headed down and called it I don't call that one a fail. Like the dumpster was a fail, the train bridge was a fail, a couple others. I don't call that a fail, just kind of like a circumstantial bailout, I suppose. But yeah, definitely a wild encounter for sure. I hope he's doing well. I did go back a couple times. I didn't climb up there, but I couldn't see his setup for 3 or 4 days after I saw his setup up there. I could see the ropes for his tarp that he would set up at night, I'm assuming, or if it was raining. 2 or 3 days after that, they were still there because I pass it to and from work. But as of 4 or 5 days later, I assume he's gone because his thing wasn't there. And it's winter time here, so assuming his tarp would be up still. So wherever he is, for anyone listening or that's watching the videos, whatever, hopefully he's doing okay. So.
Yeah, and that when I first watched that video, he threw out the idea of you taking one half of the roof, and for a minute there, I thought you were going to take him up on it, and I was thinking, I would never do that ever.
So you're correct, he did, and like I said, the whole encounter was a little bit longer than what I actually showed. I cut out a bits and pieces and tried to make it as unintrusive on his behalf as possible, but I wasn't going to not film him or put him in the video because it's like, well, if I'm filming up here and you're already up here, like you're luck on that note because it's what I'm doing and what you're doing. Neither of us should be here. So my goal is to make a video. Yours is to not get arrested. So, take what you will. But he did offer that. I said, I don't think I'm going to stay up here. And he said, well, what did he say specifically? I forget exactly, but you stay on that side. I'll stay on this side. We won't bother each other. And in my mind, in the moment, I 100% will admit that I was ready to do that. But the pragmatic or level-headed side of me kicked in, that even if we did that and it was fine, I'm not going to do my full shtick because, I try to do it as proper as possible, but I'm also like a clown too. That's kind of my thing. I try not to. It's just who I am naturally. I don't really have to act per se, but I wasn't going to be able to just do my normal routine and cook and dance and whatever I do, much less try to sleep. How would you, that's another question. How would I even have slept knowing there's somebody up there with me that I don't know, don't trust? Like, again, I didn't feel like he was going to harm me. I didn't feel like he meant me any harm or was trying to intimidate me. And he didn't really come off as intimidating, like naturally, but, yeah, no bueno. Absolutely no bueno. So it's funny that you pointed that out though, because he was the one that he threw that out there, like almost probably in his own perception, because he asked, are you working for the city? And I told him in the video, like, no, I'm just pretending to be a construction worker to be up there. And in his mind, after he kind of calmed down, thinking he's not getting in trouble or nothing's going to happen, because I promised him I wasn't going to turn him in. It's not my responsibility, but he did say that, well, you stay over there and I'll stay up here. Like, he was okay with that. Like, if I was him too, why would you, even if the shoe's on the other foot, you're him, like, would you want someone else to be up there the whole time? I don't know. It's kind of, again, just like your previous question, what was my reaction? Like, thinking about it now and like iterating it, talking with somebody about it. And I have with several people. It's the whole situation is just kind of like, wow, I'm interested in like a year, 2, 3 years, like wherever the channel ends up big or still growing, wherever we're at, looking back on that and seeing how it ages, because and from my own perspective too, people really seemed to feel the same way I felt. A lot of people also said, like I said, my reaction might have come off, it was genuine, but maybe it came off as like I was scared or nervous or all of the above. But a lot of people commented, he's not a bad guy, you're freaking out for nothing. It's like, you just don't know. You don't know who he is. You know what people are capable of. Again, it was unexpected. Yeah. I went up there to sleep and there's already a guy sleeping up there. So yeah. I guess he's a stealth camper too.
It may sound weird, but I was uncomfortable watching the video.
How so? So yeah, let me ask you then, flip the script. What was your reaction?
My reaction was pretty much the same. Like, you don't know what this guy's thoughts are or what he is capable of doing. As I was watching, I was thinking I would not have stood around as long talking to the camera. I would have been down that ladder a lot quicker than you were.
Right.
But that's just
I think, yeah, no, I agree. In hindsight, maybe that would have been the right call. But also, I didn't want to give him any indication that I was like a threat to him or I was going to turn him in or anything, because I wasn't and I didn't. But at the same time, my goal, once I realized that I was safe and everything, or at least in the moment, it sounds out of pocket again, but I'm like, well, this is going to, in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be, I don't know if it's great content, but definitely interesting content. So my goal at that point was to try to add more to the story, because, the stealth camps, most good videos are linear, like a storyline. So you start at point A and end at point B. So I started and did the whole video was exactly as intended up until I came around the corner and saw him. So that was the meat of the video, seeing him. So I tried to add as much of it to the storyboard as possible. And maybe I was annoying him. I think I kind of annoyed him a little bit towards the end, but I fully intended on making the video, and anything he or myself could do to add to it. Like you said, I'm up there and we've already talked and he's already back under his bag sitting outside. I'm like giving a rundown and saying what's going on and what do I do, so it's again, it's funny hearing your perspective on that from for watching it through the computer versus like being there in real life. Because it didn't, like I said, it didn't really occur to me to, if I felt threatened or something was way wrong, I probably would have bailed out of there much quicker. But I didn't really feel it necessary after the initial conversation.
Kind of off the topic of that, are you going to make more fishing videos?
Yeah, so I get that question all the time. Some of my Puff Buff Bass subscribers, a good majority of them, I'd say most of them, are still around. I keep in contact with a lot of my subscribers as much as possible. I reply to all my comments. I freely encourage people to start conversations in there with me. So if you ask me a question or we start a dialogue. Like, I'm not just going to reply to one comment, thanks. Like, talk to me, please. If they DM me or comment on Instagram, I'm responding. And if they respond to that, I respond to them. Emails too, same thing. Just like you reached out and we probably exchanged. I know I had to bail last week because of circumstances, so I appreciate the reschedule. Obviously, I wanted to be here because I'm here now. So to that end, I love being in contact with people that support me. And a lot of the fishing people keep asking, are fishing videos coming? So I have, I think 6, if not 7, I have 6 or 7 videos edited, ready to upload fishing and camping. And then I have, I think, another 1 or 2 still to be edited. And I still fish and I still film my fishing. I'm kind of waiting for, there's going to be a week when I cannot stealth camp for whatever reason, or something comes up. I have a vacation at the end of February. I'm going out west snowboarding like I do every year. So for that whole week and a few days before and after, I'm going to be busy with work, getting ready, traveling. Right now, with my current log of videos ready to upload, I'm planning on using those as buffers in the weeks where I can't shoot new content, so that I won't miss a week with no content at all, leading back to what I said prior to, you got to have that consistency. So plus, I'm also concerned, it's a two-pronged approach. I'm also concerned that the fishing videos might turn off some of the stealth camping people, or like the goofy comedy stuff people, that because a lot of them subscribe for the stealth and a lot of them subscribe for the comedic value and a hybrid of both. So I don't want to turn, a lot of the fishing people didn't turn off when I started changing into stealth camping, but I don't want to turn off the stealth camping people by going back to fishing like consecutively. Plus, for 2016 to 23, so whatever, 7-8 years, fishing is like my main hobby and one of my largest passions aside from editing and movie making. So, if I'm going out fishing every time, towards the end of when I was making Puff Puff videos, you could look at the dates and see I started uploading fishing videos less and less frequently, go on little runs, and then not for 2 months and 4 video. It definitely takes away from the hobby of actually being out there and enjoying myself fishing, because I'm always updating the camera. Whenever we get a fish on the line, I might have a 10-pound bass, which I've never caught, but I might have a 10-pound bass on the end of the line, and knowing I'm trying to make a video, it's like, besides landing the fish, which is already difficult enough as it is, trying to capture that and make sure everything's recording, and it gets in the way of the fun. Still going to be doing fishing and camping videos, but definitely much less frequent. So I can continue my new brand of camping and stealth camping, pepper those in when I can, but I'm also not going to be taking away from my personal time and my personal enjoyment of being outside.
So do you plan to branch out into different types of content besides stealth camping and fishing?
Yeah, yes and no. I like all of my favorite YouTubers and content creators and athletes. I mean, pick your poison, whatever you're into personally. I like when people stay in their lane, but also branch out, like within reason of, or within like a arm's length of what they're known for or good at. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. So if, okay, let's use Steve Wallace. I love Steve, much respect. Probably one of the nice, I've never met him, but you can tell just by just like me, what you see is what you get. That's Steve, that's me. Steve camps and cooks and all that. So if Steve started doing videos of working on cars, because his other hobby is building hot rods, like, would that be of interest to his 1.5 million subscribers? Probably not. Would 10% of his following be into cars and wrenching and all that? Sure. But I'm just using Steve as an example. If I was Steve and I wanted to start working on cars, I'd plug it in my videos and maybe upload 1 video to the channel. And my goal would be to drive those people that are interested, and he could build his own following I would drive all my people to that new channel or new outlet. And then anyone that already likes him and wants to get on that, he can let them know here and there, shameless plugs, and build his own new audience in conjunction with his new endeavor. So camping and fishing, I've already been doing. Stealth camping, still newer to me, but I've got, 15, 16 under my belt. So I try to keep it in-house and keep it all kind of at least somewhat relative. There's a few other videos on there, like, I'll do the behind the scenes videos, and I did like a video, because I don't drink or do drugs and stuff anymore. That's a whole nother story, but I did like a why I got sober video. I've done some other random like reviews and stuff. I'm talking Puff days and now. So I try to pepper things in occasionally, but like I was saying, I don't think I'd ever like I'm a big model railroader. I love trains and all that. And I have a separate YouTube channel specifically for model railroading, where I upload videos. I'm going to do one tonight as well. I don't think I would ever really mix those, though. It's like, you got to kind of keep things separate, because you want to, it's about, all goes back to that consistency in your audience. Another big thing too, a point I just thought of, and this has come up a lot lately, because like I said, I'm into the analytics and the algorithm. You have to listen to your fan base or your subscribers, your people, because watching videos, it's a huge amount of time dedicated. If someone's willing to sit there and watch you for 27 minutes once a week, that's just like when we were kids, we'd watch Home Improvement or any of those other things. It's a big commitment. You get invested in the people or the characters or the storylines. Not every episode or stealth camp will be good. Some of them will be great. If somebody says 6 videos in a row, a good amount of comments are saying, I don't like XYZ, then there's probably a reason behind that. You got to take that into consideration. If they say, this was awesome, do that again, do that, you got to hear what people are saying. Some of them are just downright mean and will tell you what they don't like. Other people will give constructive criticism. And then any praise, you really have to pay attention and listen in to what people like and don't like, no matter how they convey it to you. So anything good, run with it. Anything not so great or that you can improve on, run with it. So in a roundabout way as well, like I said, if I started working on cars and people said, I don't want to watch this, and then another person says, I want to watch this. So make a channel for working on cars, and anyone that wants to see it will watch it, and anyone that doesn't won't have to, because you're not putting it on your camping fishing channel.
Is YouTube a full-time job option?
I think about that all the time. As I mentioned to you, I think before you started recording, I have a full-time job. I'm currently at work. I blocked out 3 o'clock to 4:30 to do this podcast. I took it as a meeting. So hopefully my boss doesn't see this. I don't think they will. But I don't feel bad either. People waste so much time doing stupid stuff. So I do have a full-time job, 40, 50 hours a week. I do okay for myself. I'm not rich, but I can pay the bills and go on fishing trips and buy the gear I need, all that. I can live. We're okay. We're somewhat comfortable. But again, it's nice to have job security and income weekly, but obviously there's the 40, 50 hours a week that goes along with that. Back to the analytical side of things, my channel's monetized. I'm looking at starting merchandise. It's already in the works, but I'm not going to push it really until probably January or February, let the holidays pass. The last thing I want to do is I'm never going to, but I would never shove stuff down people's throats, much less at the holidays. The merchandising and all that other stuff is income. We'll see how it plays out. As the channel continues to grow, the videos I'm not making thousands of dollars, but a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there from the YouTube monetization. If I can supplement my current income with my 40-hour gig, if I can supplement my income from YouTube and, add another 20% or 50% or 100%, whatever it may be, shoot for the stars, right? To the bottom line, that would be ideal. Reasoning behind that is because my goal right now, I've done a few weeks, I've done 2 videos, but I'm really lately trying to just stick to that Wednesday or Thursday upload every week. You can count on it. You know when to tune in, sometime Wednesday or sometime Thursday. And I try to do live one day a week too. So sticking with that schedule. So if I ever get ahead of the game, I have more content to upload and I might not have to camp. Or if I can't camp, I still have something to upload, like I was saying. If I can stick to that one day a week and still work my 40-hour week job, then I'm not stretched too thin. I want to say it in a non-arrogant, cocky way, but I firmly believe the channel will take off, and I firmly believe it will do some crazy stuff. God knows what that'll be, but I pray and hope and believe that it will. If I can continue the one day a week, so break it down, I scout, I plan, I got to get gear together and food and stuff together, a couple hours of prep, and then I have to go to the location, 12, 14 hours film, do all that. So that's, call it a full day for prep and actually filming. Could be a little more, could be a little less, but call it a full day. And then editing, which will take me anywhere from 2, 3, 4 to 6 hours. So, and that's after the camping and all of that. So right now, from the minute I start planning my camp to when I actually get home and edit and then finish editing, you're talking about a easy, over a day or two, 24 to 36 hours of a process. If I can stick to that one video a week and not take away from my job, my full-time job, without being tired and a zombie, I think I can, at least in the short term, balance both, which means I don't have to give up my steady, reliable income and can continue to grow this thing, hopefully, and I do believe it will. It might not be tomorrow or the next month, but eventually they can kind of be congruent. So I tell my fiance all the time, she's very supportive, always giving me ideas and helping me out in various ways to make things easier on me. I like to rant and my brain's always going in 100 directions, but
Yeah.
Things could overlap eventually. I don't want to ever get burnt out. So again, I guess I forgot what I was going to say, but my point being is the goal, at least in the short term, is to try and maintain both. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is that it does feel like a second job in a way, because the couple days before I camp and then the day that I'm planning to camp, I work and then have to rush home, or if I work from home and then have to go do the camp and all that, then I got to be home the next morning in time to get to work, all that. So it does kind of feel like a second job right now. But once the video's live, then I have the breathing room to just go about my normal business. But the caveat to that is the second job, I mean, by camping and then editing and all that. But I spend a lot of time, like I said, behind the scenes, tweaking analytics, looking at numbers, replying to comments, watching other YouTubers. I also do what I call YouTube school. It's just a little thing I do. I try to get a couple hours in a week or whenever I can. I like to watch like Mr. Beast interviews and Casey Neistat videos and interviews. Top 10 YouTubers give their advice, stuff like that. I call it YouTube school because I try to stay very in tune with, like I said, that's how I learned a lot of these things to be successful, even in the short term, to do everything I can, that extra 10% effort behind the scenes, I call it, that proves itself in the results with the growth and the steady gains and momentum. So, all of that said, it's the shooting and the editing and the prep, and then the extra time behind the scenes. It does take up a lot of time and it's a lot of effort, and my brain's just constantly, trying to formulate some way to continue momentum. You just got to keep that momentum going. And as long as you can do that, as long as you're going to keep going. Like if I got burnt out and didn't make a video for a month, I think that would be super detrimental. Or if I had a really good 3-month stretch on YouTube and just for fun made 60 grand or something, that'll happen. Hopefully that'll be cool. And then I quit my job and then, had a series of bad videos that only made $300 in a month. Like, how do you pay the bills? So I hope you gather what I'm trying to say. So if it ever comes to a point where I have to decide or change something, I can't really fathom what that'll look like or how I would proceed at that point. Just gotta kind of take it as it comes.
And sometimes that's the best way to take it too.
Got to be prepared, but you got to be prepared to do what you're doing, but you also got to be prepared for what comes your way. There's really no other better way to put it, in my opinion.
Are there any plans to stealth camp in Canada?
So I was just up in Canada. So that's another little good backstory. If you couldn't tell, I have like 800 backstories. But so the biggest reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now, when I was 12, my uncle, who's actually like 100 feet away from me in another office right now, my uncle went to this canoe trip camp up in northern Ontario, Temagami, Lake Temagami. It's called Keewaydin, Temagami. And you do canoe trips like the Aboriginal people and fur traders did back for a couple thousand years. Wood canvas canoes, cooking your own food, setting up camp, all that. It's not even really camp. It's more like canoe expedition. So, paddling, portaging, running rapids, making fires, putting up campsites, living off the land essentially, except, we had food, but we would fish, hunt geese and grouse, do all that cool stuff. So that was 7 weeks that I did up there 4 years in a row, 12 to 15 or 16, whatever. So doing that at such a young age, I looked forward to going back every year. I was fishing and doing outdoor stuff in the off season when I wasn't at camp. So that really led me to where I am now. Without that, I don't even think I would have ever picked up a fishing rod on my own time. I was very ADD and got in a lot of trouble and was always screwing around with something, making videos, like I was saying. So it really led me to this point. It was one of the camping videos I did. I think it was last month or like the first week in November, maybe. I got my passport in the mail and I was going to wait till spring to go up there because I did do a Boundary Waters canoe trip back in September. I uploaded that video. Didn't go well. I rolled my ankle really bad and had to get evacuated by a float plane. Super interesting. So I got my passport with the intention and I'm planning the trips right now, doing a couple Canadian canoe trips back up in the Temagami region, as I was discussing. Passport came in the mail and I'm like planning my trips. I'm like, I just kind of want to go now. So the video's live on the channel. It's not super interesting, I'll be honest, but I went up there for 2 nights, kind of dicked around, fished a little bit, picked up a bunch of trash, just kind of did some sightseeing, I guess, did some hiking and all that. So it was nice to spend a couple nights back up north. It's about 6 hours north of Toronto. So it's literally if you looked at it on the Google overhead map, it's in the middle of nowhere. Camping and canoe trips in Canada are on the horizon. I'm just waiting for the ice out in 6 long months. Kill me now. I hate waiting. But the idea of stealth camping up there, I would say it's like a 5% chance, maybe less. The last thing I would want to do is I don't want to get trespassing tickets as it is. I got one for the train hop video I have on my channel, and I got one for fishing a private pond like 10 years ago. It was like a couple $100 fine for both of them, and you have to go to court 2-3 times. The stakes of getting caught in another country like that and getting banned from Canada forever would suck really bad. And like the diplomatic, I'm a U.S. citizen. It's another country. People, I mean, obviously it is, but I don't think people understand that that's not just like if you get caught trespassing at your neighborhood pond and have to go to mayor's court versus like you're another citizen, it just doesn't feel like a great idea. And then again, on the other hand, it's like, if I'm going to stealth camp at a McDonald's, let's just say, which I plan to do, if I'm going to stealth camp at McDonald's here, what would be more interesting? Obviously there's like landmarks and stuff, but like what would be any different about sleeping behind a Walmart in Ohio versus Toronto? It's kind of like anything I could do there, I could do here, unless it's like a national monument or something that we don't have here, So I'd say probably not. Camping and canoeing, yeah, it's going to happen next year. I have 2 trips I'm planning, but as far as just stealth camping, it's funny you mentioned that because I've done 15, 16 stealth camps, and the furthest one away from my house was like 15 minutes.
All right. Do you think it's a good idea to trespass for stealth camping?
Oh, that's the fine line I walk. That's the fine line all the stealth campers and even fishermen walk, trying to choose my words carefully. So clearly, I do trespass and have for fishing and for stealth camping, but it's such a loose definition, in my opinion, as far as its interpretation and enforcement. So a good example is like railroad tracks. Like if you're walking down railroad tracks and you're a kid with friends and you're throwing rocks at trees or whatever you're doing and you're on a railroad property, you're trespassing. If you are playing in the woods and building a fort or shooting paintball guns or doing whatever behind your neighborhood, like you're on somebody's property, you're trespassing. So all of those things, would you get fined or arrested for those? Most of the time not. Stealth camping, that's where the line I think is kind of drawn. If I slept behind Walmart. If somebody sees me on the camera and kicks me out, I'm going to leave. Always be respectful. Hey, I'm in the dumpster video, especially you can actually see the interaction with the employees of the restaurant bar. Hey, I'm shooting a stupid YouTube video, be honest with them, be nice, be respectful, even though you're in the wrong, so to speak. You can compare it somewhat to like homeless people or like transient people. And I wish them all well. I hope whatever they got going on, they figure it out. I pray for people all the time, all that stuff. If you're sleeping at a bus stop and a cop comes up and tells you to move along, are they gonna arrest you because you clearly are torn and tattered? You're not doing well. Are they gonna tell you to move along? Are they gonna take you to jail and put you in an even worse situation? Now you got court and fines and all that other stuff. I know I'm kind of rambling about it, but I don't condone it. But how can you really stealth camp without trespassing? How can you really be? And I'm not comparing stealth camping to being homeless because I have a home, and I know some people took offense to that. Like you're basically pretending to be homeless. Well, essentially, no, but yes. Like I'm sleeping outside when I could be at home in my bed. Some people don't have that option. I think it's just a very fine line. I don't want to condone people doing it, but where can you legitimately stealth camp? And my definition of stealth camp, I think, is important too. A lot of people try to paint their own pictures of what stealth camping means, but to me, it's a pretty simple definition. Stealth camping itself is sleeping or camping somewhere that you're not supposed to. And obviously the goal is to not get caught and get home in the morning or wherever you're going. But if you get caught, you could get caught sleeping in your neighborhood, your neighbor's backyard, or at a campground you're not supposed to be at. So how can you really, point being is, knowing that the simple goal is to sleep or camp somewhere that you're not supposed to. So if you're not supposed to be there, there's obviously a reason, because it's either a closed public place, which means you'd be trespassing, right? Or it's a business or private property or a ballpark or wherever you would be if you're not supposed to be there, whether it's because they closed at 10 p.m. or because it's a private owned entity, it's trespassing. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't see how one can stealth camp really anywhere without it being considered at least some form of, like, I know my definition's kind of been loosey-goosey all over the place, but I don't see how you could stealth camp anywhere at all without it being some form of trespassing. That leads to the point as well that a lot of people give me ideas daily of where to camp, and it's like some of them are just on that note of trespassing. No, I would never do that, because that would be serious. Like, I'm not going to sleep in Walmart or like in Home Depot or like, stay after a Cleveland Browns game in the stadium and like get caught. And, because at that point, whether you went in when you were like, I'm allowed to be in Walmart at 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, but if I'm in there at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday after they've been closed for 4 hours and I get caught, even if I didn't vandalize or steal or break anything, which I would never do harm to anyone or anything at all, that's never, that would be I'd assume a more serious crime. So it's, I know I'm kind of all over the place with it, but I don't condone it, but I don't think you can stealth camp without trespassing in its most primitive form, which is, again, stealth camping, sleeping or being camping somewhere you're not supposed to. And then trespassing is the same definition. You're somewhere for whatever reason or whatever you're doing, and you're not supposed to be. So I hope that all kind of ties together.
Are you planning to stealth camp for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I mean, as of right now, I've said it again 3-4 times, but I said a month. Then I said to the end of the year, we're there. I said I'll do it for a year now. So, September 1st of 2024, let's call it, will be 1 year. If the channel is continuing on this trajectory of slow and steady growth to new milestones, I'm planning on continuing it as long as it's applicable, and as long as it's still doing something for me, which is we're building a community. I've got a lot of people that, just like you, now you have my cell number because the Zoom went wrong, but you can hit me up anytime, ideas, or if you just need to talk about stuff, whatever. A lot of people from Puff Puff that I've never met, I text with, or we talk on Instagram or YouTube all the time. Same thing with the new stealth camping subscribers. So I've made a lot of friends, met a lot of really cool and interesting people that have given me a lot of these ideas and criticisms and advice, all good stuff. So that's just another positive attribute of what has happened in just this past short 3-4 months. So it's all been good so far. So like I said, as long as the trajectory continues on a positive note and in a momentous upward trend of a direction, then I can't say yes with certainty. Like, can I be 87 years old if I'm lucky enough to be around that long? And I'm going to sleep at Walmart for my 85th birthday. That'd be cool, I guess. Hopefully most of my people are around to watch. I mean, it's definitely in the foreseeable future plans, but 5 years from now, maybe I have 1 million subs, or maybe I have 10 million subs, or maybe I quit in 3 months because I just get sick of it. You never know. It's hard. Like you said, I'm prepared to keep going on this path with what we're building, but at the same time, you never know what's going to come your way. So it's a loaded question, but it's a good question.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an interesting topic, stealth camping, and I wanted to thank you for coming on here. Thank you for all the viewers and everything. Thanks for watching. I'm Green Hubs, and this is Sam with the Northwest Winds.
Yeah, thank you all. Please subscribe, comment, like. Let me know what you think, good or bad. I would love to talk to you and hear what you all have to say. And thank you, Silas, for having me. I'd be happy to come back anytime, and I appreciate the opportunity, no doubt.